Chris Lynch News with Airpark Canterbury. Trusted parking, backing trusted news.
Christchurch Mayor Phil Mauger is with me. Good morning, Phil.
Good morning, Chris. How are you?
Very well, thank you, sir. Finally, some good news for New Brighton. New changes coming to New Brighton Mall. What exactly can the punters look forward to seeing, and what's the time frame?
I believe it's starting the work. They're having stakeholder engagement at the moment, and work starting in winter the next year.
Very exciting stuff. So what can we look forward to? What kind of makeover is the actual mall getting?
They're talking about different paving. A lot of the channel grates on the side are all rotted and so forth. So it just needs a good spruce up. And of course, with that village green development that's happening down there, and I challenge anyone to go down and have a look. It is absolutely outstanding. They will complement each other really, really well.
I'm looking forward to it. Phil, why does New Brighton Mall need to be renamed with a Māori name?
They've been gifted the name. It's not costing any money from any council money, and it will have New Brighton Mall and the Māori name together on the same side if they want to.
So will it be called New Brighton Mall or something else?
New Brighton Mall. The other name just escapes me at the moment. You know what it is?
Sure. Can't remember.
I do. Well, haven't got it in front of me. Sorry.
That's all right. So I think the bit that winds people up is that it sounds voluntary and generous, saying the name was gifted, but in practice it's sort of become a default pathway with very little room for a no thanks, isn't it?
Some people could think that, but I think it's important that if someone gives you something, you grab with both hands. But as long as it's, I sort of struggle sometimes with Turanga, the library. I've had people ask me from overseas, have you seen the library? And they're standing right out in front of it because it hasn't got the library written after Turanga. So as long as we've got both names on it at the same time, I can't see any issue.
So there was no Māori consultation that's been paid for or money that's gone to any consultation regarding the new name?
Not as far as I know. I may be wrong, but it'll be all done through the community board. It hasn't come past council, that's for sure.
This takes me back to when QE2 was renamed, and I don't think anybody really uses the Māori name of QE2, not that I can think of. But it's not, people will say, that's racist, you can't have a conversation about that, it's racism. It's not really that. It feels like the East had lost so much at the time, and then they were railroaded with a name they never got to actually choose themselves.
Take like QE2. I used to live up the road from QE2. It's been QE2 as long as I've been born, and it flows off your tongue easier. So that's what just whatever's easiest, people will use it.
Fair enough. Phil, do you have any concerns about the government allocating millions of dollars to attract artists to Christchurch Stadium?
I think, the government have got a new fund, and I heard yesterday, and correct me if I'm wrong, at $70 million, and Christchurch is the first cab off the rank for some of that money to attract 60 and Symphony to the stadium. So I went to the James Hay Theatre yesterday, and it's going to be outstanding. Some people have said, it should have been an Overseas Act and yada, yada, yada. But I heard yesterday that an Overseas Act had been offered $7 million by Melbourne to go there, and the Overseas Act said, thank you, but it's not enough. So, how much money do you spend? And I think it's a New Zealand stadium. It should have New Zealand acts in it. And if it's, from what I saw yesterday, if that's the quality of it, it is going to be outstanding.
Yeah, the excitement really is buzzing around that stadium, and that's for sure. So I don't want to sound like a negative Nancy, and no offence to Nancy's watching this. But doesn't it kind of mean that ratepayers are contributing twice through building the stadium and now with incentives offering performers and promoters? And couldn't you kind of argue that's corporate welfare dressed up as economic development, isn't it?
Yeah, sadly though, but see, take the likes of supercars. I know the government has put some money towards getting those here because they've got to help get the stuff into the country.
Yeah, I understand. So it's nice to have, isn't it? And I suppose if it's economic development, that's progress, isn't it?
And you've got to look at also, I heard yesterday, in 660 sold out Eden Park, so 55,000 odd people, I think. So we're going to have no issue in filling that. The government, from what I was told yesterday, have subsidised the tickets a little bit there. So the cheapest ticket's $80 and the dearest ticket's $130, which is bloody great to get into a stadium like that.
By the way, just quickly, who's your dream act? Who would you love to see perform at the stadium?
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't. No. Whatever I say will be wrong, so I'll shut up.
What about a Spice Girls reunion concert? Isn't that what you're after? Or was that me?
Oh, yeah,
Anyway.
that's the top of my list, mate.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping for. Phil, what's the latest with ECAN? I understand there was some discussion they were going to be involved in some kind of ticket package for stadium events, but that's not quite the case now, or you've got some updates on that? I mean, there were early discussions about some kind of combined transport and event ticketing system. Where are we at with that? Do you know?
From what I understand, that there's ticketing for supercars, the system there, and they hadn't quite got together with VO for the stadium event, but I understand there were just some discussions yesterday, and I'm just told things are going to be okay. So we'll watch this space, because you got to see, we've got Parakiuri, which has got 500 car parks. That's great. We designed the stadium with 0 car parks. We've got to make it as easy as possible and as cheap as possible for people to get in and have the experience in our stadium. Because if they have one negative experience, they'll go away and go, oh, I'm not bloody going back there, because it was, so we've got to make it as good as possible all the time.
I'm nervous about the first concert, the first game, and what's going to happen with public transport. And do you think all of that's sorted yet, or is it going to be a bit of a nightmare to start with, do you think, with people rat racing and trying to park illegally in private buildings down Chilham Street? What are your thoughts?
I remember back going to Lancaster Park, where you walk for about, a kilometre past, and bought more sausages off the boys' brigade and the girls' brigade than you ever needed. But it was all part of the fun of wandering to the game. And I'm sure that's going to happen a lot. But the public transport bit, we need to have, my view is integrated ticketing, or free buses from, say, Hornby Hub, from Westfield Mall, from the Palms, all sort, just to make it easier to get in, just like Sale GP was, because that ran really, really well.
Yeah, that did. It was an amazing event. Phil, the Taxpayers Union said it's completely inappropriate for council advisors to push amalgamation without community mandates. Do you believe the advisors that gave that discussion at a workshop, I must say, have overstepped the mark by raising a greater Christchurch super city proposal?
No, absolutely not. There is no secret that certainly myself and also the council about a year ago talked about being a unitary council and or super city. There's so much stuff up in the air. We've got RM reform coming out next Monday. We've got to get a submission into the government by the 20th of February. The amount of work that staff is going to have to do between now and then is bloody phenomenal. That staff were just giving us, they weren't pushing us in any direction whatsoever. They were just giving us all the facts so we can make a decision.
What are your preliminary thoughts on this kind of super city suggestion?
It's got a long way to go there, and we're certainly, whatever happens, we will not be forcing any, just because we're the biggest doesn't mean to say that we're not. I do not want to force anything on anyone, other councils, that they don't want. But I'm half keen. I am keen on Christchurch being a unitary. I really am, because it's going to make life so much easier. Just
explain what unitary actually means.
Unitary is that it's a bit like Nelson is unitary. That there's no. The Christchurch City Council will take over all of the actions of ECAN in the city boundaries.
Okay. I know, just quickly, like
running the buses, for example.
Oh, makes sense, doesn't it? I know you met with Selwyn and Waimakere district mayors recently at the Mayoral's Forum. How'd that go? Did you raise any things about super cities? And hey,
no, well, the ink was only just dry on the paper that landed on us the morning before. We will certainly be, once the RM reform stuff comes out next week, it's either going to make it easier or harder. We don't know, but I'm sure that we will. The mayors and the CEs will probably have a bit of a yarn, just a private yarn, and see what's the best direction to head in, so that we can populate it with our councils and councillors.
Hey, just finally, Phil. Rate caps. Government announced that, I think, last week. You broadly in favour of that, aren't you?
Yep.
Actually, we discussed it last time, didn't we? But there is public appetite for it, isn't there? From what I can see last week.
Yeah, and as I said to all our councillors at the first meeting, I said, we've heard black and blue through the election process that I'm even hearing it now. Please keep the rates down. We've got cost of living crisis. That is on the top of everyone's mind, followed very closely by speed humps on main arterials. So
Love a good speed hump. Love a good speed hump. Christchurch Mayor Phil Mauger, you get installing another speed bump, please, for a
Okay,
new story.
I'm up for it.
Have a lovely day.
Thank you, Chris. See you around.